It's the Performance Racing Industry Trade Show from Orange County Convention Center in Orlando, Florida. Wide aisles with the latest in racing equipment, safety equipment, and technology in which you can build and fabricate your own parts. It is the spot where everyone in drag racing comes to kick off their year, and it's next on Inside Drag Racing.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Inside Drag Racing as we cover the Performance Racing Industry Show, better known as the PRI Show in Orlando, Florida. The land of the oranges, and it's sunshiny and warm down here, and that's the way we like to open the show. Let's get things started with something that has become essential for any drag racer if you're going to be competitive, and that is radios. Brad Smith is with us, and tell us a little bit about what's new for drag racers, Brad.
Well, Ted, we're back to this PRI show again for the second year. We really embraced the drag racing project last year, and it's really exploded. A lot of the pros have come over, and we're at the track each week, and they're seeing our products. We've brought back again this year our patented Nitro helmet speaker. Eliminates the need for the inner earpiece, much louder. Our fuel guys, Bruce Litt and many of those guys using that system, say it's much louder, much more clear than anything they've ever had in the helmet before.
So the speaker is actually built in the helmet?
Directly into the helmet. We can do it in most quality American-made helmets. Folks are loving that.
So you just plug the helmet in. That's a pretty neat idea.
One plug, you're done. Great audio, noise cancellation, all in one easy-to-use package.
Wow, what a neat idea. Much better than the earpiece. And what else have you got new there?
Well, we've got a new headset we've introduced this year. This is actually our active noise reduction or real silence. Kind of hard to see it, but this unit right here, actually when you put it on, you flip a switch, it actually digitally suppresses all the outside noise. Also have found this to be very popular with our nitro burning guys and how loud those cars are, especially at the line.
Oh, you got that right.
Guys are loving this. Ultra noise canceling microphone, the big style windsock, articulating boom, outstanding piece. This is also new for us for 2007.
So the idea is you can stand right beside a top fueler, and instead of hearing the sound of the engine, they'll hear your voice.
You're basically going to hear the voice. It suppresses all the outside noise. Pretty neat program.
Wow, that is neat, and quite a few things on your board right there.
Absolutely. We've done some new stuff this year. There's some new push-to-talk switches we've come out with. Our large square button has always been our industry standard. Our drag race guys have really appreciated the panel mount. They can mount it in their overhead in their Pro Mod, Pro Stock car, Top Sportsman, Super Comp style car. They've gone to this style configuration. All of our car harnesses have now gotten much shorter as we've tailored those to the cockpits for drag cars.
You know what? If you want more information on the radios you're seeing right here and some of the new stuff, we'll put up a website for you at the end of the show.
When you're drag racing, it's a company that you know quite a bit about, Jet Hot Coatings. And Todd, what's kind of new and exciting for the upcoming season for Jet Hot?
Doc, we've got some big news. We got a brand new facility coming out in southeastern Pennsylvania, and this was going to dramatically cut shipping times for the Northeast.
The Northeast and the East Coast as well.
Absolutely. We know our customers don't like just fast cars, but fast service.
I also notice some new colors on the horizon as well.
Yes. We got our new Copperhead, aptly named, and meet the new boss. Looks like the old boss. It's our new Extreme Sterling. It'll hold its temperature to 1,700 degrees Fahrenheit versus the old was 13, holding its shine a clear 200 degrees higher than the old. So if your headers have gone gray, we've got something for you.
What about just that regular standard black?
Well, standard black is fine for standard people, but for those who want something a little bit more different and new, we have a semi-gloss black here. It's great for a guy who's got a Harley, trying to spruce it up, and a lot of the restoration folks who are going more for that nostalgia look, some who have a porcelain manifold that isn't holding up.
And again, stay tuned at the end of the program. We'll give you complete contact information for Jet Hot Coatings, a new location and some hot new colors. These guys are always on the cutting edge.
Okay, Doc, back up here on stage, we have a special guest, Nelson Hoyas. You remember him from the Sport Compact series and everything like that? Well, guess what? He's teaching you guys how to do the same now. He's with a school called Driven to Win. And Nelson, the first question I have is, you specialize in Sport Compacts?
I specialize in Sport Compact, Ted. We decided to stay within our roots. That's where my claim to fame was, and I was fortunate to do well there. So now I want to give back to that particular market and try to grow it and try to give some instructional work in that market.
Well, good. They need it. not running those guys down, but let's face it, they're not the quickest off the line in the world with reaction times.
Well, it's a whole different group. It's a different car that we have to respond with. The front-wheel drive cars traditionally react totally different from a rear-wheel drive car. But yes, the Sport Compact group has some interesting obstacles that they have to overcome. So I'm hoping that I can bring some information to them as well as some instructional work, and so it makes them a better driver.
Is a front-wheel drive car, the car itself, actually slower to react in leaving?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So you need to just leave that much earlier.
Exactly right. And you need to be able to identify that. Yes. The rollout on the cars, my particular car with GM had a 30-inch tire versus a dragster that has a 22-inch tire in the front. So the rollout on my car took a lot longer to get out of the beams.
And it's a drag slick.
Yes.
Not a front runner.
That's exactly right.
All right, now where's your school located?
It's located at Morosa Motorsports Park in West Palm Beach, Florida. And we have a permanent on-site facility there 24/7, 365 days a year. And we also have a mobile unit that we have a large rig that hauls 4 cars. And we will be for 07 following the NHRA Sport Compact circuit and actually doing mobile driving schools at the tracks that we participate in.
Just before the event?
Yes, just before the event.
Oh, how
correct.
cool is that? That's neat. So you can get your license and then enter the event.
Exactly right.
Well, you
exactly
guys
right.
are thinking really sharp, and I'll tell you, 2 of the most successful series are at West Palm Beach. And at the end of the show, I'll put up the website where you can get a hold of Driven to Win if you want to sign up.
Inside Drag Racing is brought to you by Summit Racing Equipment, the World Speed Shop, by ARP, the world leader in racing fastener technology, by Duplicolor, the leader in automotive paints, primers, and coatings. Yes, you can with Duplicolor, and by the O'Reilly Auto Parts Auto Expo.
Welcome back to Inside Drag Racing as we continue our coverage here of the PRI show from Orlando, Florida. Right now, Jason has come over from CSR to show us some new products because that's what we do at the PRI show every year is talk about new products. Jason, what have you brought for us?
Ted, what we've brought here today, we've got 2 products, but the first product is our new 24-volt Smart Start switch. We do as a package with a true 24-volt starter. The luxury of this switch is it converts the starter, 2 12-volt batteries converts the starter off to 24 to the starter motor only.
So you make a 24-volt starter?
Yes, sir, we do. Yes, sir, we do.
What's the advantage? Why do you want to do that?
The big advantage is your bigger cubic inch or your injected alcohol motors to get everything started without flex plate breakage is what we've accomplished here.
All right, show us some of the contacts and everything you have on there.
What we have here is this will be your 24 volt to your starter motor only, 12 volt in here, 12 volt in here for off your batteries. You can charge through this switch with the alternator or your conventional 12 volt battery charger. It doesn't take special batteries to do this.
Okay, you run a common ground then.
Yes,
you tie
sir.
the grounds all together.
Yes, sir.
And you were talking about spinning the flywheel or the flex plate. Let's talk about what else you brought over here. That thing is very novel.
What we've got here is our new aluminum bolt-on ring gear flex plate, which only weighs 5 pounds. New product for us for the show. We also are doing it in steel also with a bolt-on ring gear. Did it both ways. Do a lightweight and a little heavier weight.
That's billet aluminum?
Yes, it is 6061 traditional Chevy 168 tooth ring gear on it.
And I see it's SFI approved.
Yes, it is SFI 291. Yes, sir.
Boy, that's really neat. See, that's American ingenuity, and that's what drag racers and people like CSR do. Now, out on the floor is Doc Riley. He's found more.
At the PRI show, you'll find lots of innovation, and one of the neat things is you'll find all kinds of great tools. Working on valve screen, well, Brad here has got himself a pretty nice little trick device. Brad, first of all, tell me about this this nice little unit.
It's basically just an on-head valve spring compressor. We've tried to make a universal tool. Takes same universal tool, just take different base adapters for different engine applications. It's adjustable in 1 degree increments. As far as the top end of its ball screw design, generates 800 pounds of linear force with 2 pounds of rotating torque.
All right, now we get to some test equipment. What do you got here?
Valve spring bench testers. And basically just for checking valve springs, checking installed height, checking pressure.
Okay, this is a tool, but what about the accuracy of a tool? I mean, anyone can kind of do that type of situation. How important is accuracy when you're looking at something?
Very important. Very important today.
Is that one of the things you kind of looked at to make sure that you've got it? Do I have to calibrate, gauge that or anything else? Do I have to take care of it? What do I have to do? Just to work right out of the box?
Works right out of the box, just like it should.
Just like it should. What else you got?
Basically, we got a digital version of the on-head or the bench tester, and we've got a mechanical version, and we also have a new PC version. Basically interfaces with the PC, where you can record batches of springs, compare batches of springs, different spring rates, or compare spring rates actually.
One of the biggest problems you're going to have is accuracy in gauges. Now, Buxton Engineering has taken care of that with a very accurate, very durable gauge, and it's all due to one guy, that guy right there, Brad Buxton.
The ARP Quarter Mile Quiz with Butch McCall offers you a chance to win a Quarter Mile Quiz sweatshirt while testing your knowledge of drag racing. Brought to you by ARP, the world leader in racing fastener technology.
Quarter Mile Quiz. Tony Rumpel of Fort Wayne, Indiana was kind enough to email this week's ARP Quarter Mile Quiz question. And that question is, he wants to know if there's an octane limit to the fuel used in Pro Stock. Well, when I come back, I'm going to go ask WJ, 6-time NHRA world champion. He couldn't help me with the answer. Welcome back to Inside Drag Racing and the ARP Quarter Mile Quiz. WJ, a little help with this week's question, if you could, sir. Tony Rumpel wants to know, is there an octane limit for the fuel used in Pro Stock cars?
That's a great question for Pro Stock, because there really isn't an octane limit per se. But we have to do is run a spec fuel blended by VP fuels. It's a C25 fuel. That's our spec fuel. They have to run. Everybody runs the same fuel. It's a great fuel for Pro Stock or large bore, high compression motors.
And of course, NHRA governs the fuel, so it's checked, so we know everybody's running the same.
It's checked before and after the run.
Well, when you want to know an answer, go to a 6-time world champion to get it. Hey, we appreciate the question. Got a great looking ARP Quarter Mile Quiz sweatshirt on the way to you. And for you folks at home, email me or mail me your question.
Welcome back to Orlando, Florida. As we continue our coverage of the PRI show, we've got a brand new product for you. As a matter of fact, Russ was telling me before we came back on the air that this product is the greatest invention for mechanics in a garage since the dishwasher was invented for the housewife, right, Russ? And
right.
Why is that? It's a parts washer from CUDA, but you don't use solvent?
No solvents, all soap and water, no hazardous waste, biodegradable, safe, environmentally friendly. In some cases, or most cases, it's sewerable.
So I could hook this to the sewer?
Yes.
I don't have to have a special haul-away service to get rid of hazardous waste. And when you use a solvent, you have to wear special masks and everything?
Right. You should, to use a solvent, a scrubbing tank, you should use a respirator, a rubber apron, rubber boots, rubber gloves.
Oh my gosh. You look like the creature from beyond with that. And a lot of people don't, which puts them in violation of OSHA regulations, I would imagine.
And then with the soap and water, you eliminate all the hazardous waste and all the environmental issues.
Okay, now Jimmy, how does this thing work with just soap and water?
The way it works, it's all a self-contained unit. It holds the water in the bottom of the unit. It has a pump, pumps water through a manifold, and spray nozzles throughout our equipment. Different equipment has a different number of nozzles, and then it just runs it through over and over again. It has an oil skimmer that will pull the oil off your water solution, that you can put that in your waste oil system, and then you can continue to use the water for up to 30 days.
And it's CUDA, it's called. These gentlemen are two of the distributors of that product, and I'll tell you what, at the end of the show, we'll put up a website where you can get more information on the CUDA.
The NHRA Sportsman Spotlight, featuring a closer look at NHRA sportsman drag racers and their racing activities at different drag strips across the nation. Brought to you by Duplicolor, the leader in automotive paints, primers, and coatings.
Spencer Speedway in Williamson, New York is one of the oldest continuous racing facilities in North America. A half-mile NASCAR sanctioned oval and a 10th-mile drag strip. Built in 1954 by the Spencer brothers, this track takes you back to the basics of fun.
Well, when you walk in, the first thing you see is there's a fairly large grandstand area for a facility like this because of the size. and it's open. It's all open, all accessible. There's not a lot of fencing to keep you out of a lot of places. Everything's pretty much in an open area, kind of family oriented, a lot of spots for kids that they get time bored, they can play football, baseball. It's known to happen. Get you off the street, that's definitely not a good place to race. I mean, we've got, the NHRA has a very good street legal program we're involved with. It's a safe facility. You have to go through the NHRA technical inspection. It's just a lot of fun.
Oh, they treat you like you were one of the family. A guy off the street or a guy comes in with his car, he has a problem, there's 10 people that go up and ask him if he wants help. That's the way it is here. It's not like when you go to a big track where they're snobby and stuff like that. And, you know, that's it. You know, I go to Florida and I go to, you know, Division II races in the wintertime, and they don't treat you like you do when you're home. This is home.
Being a little bit smaller, it might be a little more personal level here. I mean, my wife works here and both my daughters work here. I mean, it's like I say, it's all about family and having fun and back to the basic values that it's better that everybody's together on a Saturday night having fun and smiling than it is some of the other problems that they could be getting into.
This track has been around for a long time, and it shows. The atmosphere, the people, you know, it shows.
The evolution of the drag racing engine, it has come a long way. You know, cylinder head manufacturers continue to put more volume in there. And to keep up with that, the guys at Oliver Racing Parts with their connecting rods, these guys have continued to make progress and evolve. Let's talk a little bit about the market. Seems like we're making more and more horsepower. How have you guys kept up with that?
Well, that's correct. And we've redesigned our rod to keep up with that market. We've done some design improvements this last year through the structure of the rod, along with modern engineering and CNC programming. We were to add roughly 15 to 20% strength to our rod with same weight, within 5 grams of our previous weights. So that's quite an advantage from the horsepower and RPM level. Of course, Oliver's 25 years old. When we started to see a 7,500 RPM motor was pretty standard. Today, 9,000 RPM, big block, small block. And because the staff at Oliver, we are racers with engineering and machining backgrounds, when customers call, we hear what they're talking about. We talk their language.
You're not a catalog. I mean, someone's not going to get a part out of a catalog. They're going to talk to a guy that knows racing.
When you call Oliver, you are talking to a racer technician.
Spoken like a true racer, always finding that advantage. Stay tuned at the end of the program. We'll give you complete contact information for Oliver Racing products. Inside Drag Racing is brought to you by Moroso. Race-proven Moroso. Join us for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Masters Auto Expo, July 6th and 7th in Bradford, Virginia. Drag racing and more. And by United Specialties, home of the Trend Center.
The Performance Tip. Professional tips on the latest performance technology available with NHRA Pro Stock champion Greg Anderson. Items featured on the Performance Tip are available from Summit Racing Equipment, the world speed shop.
Today's Summit Racing Equipment Performance Tip is all about horsepower, and we all love horsepower. And you folks that are looking to replace that points ignition system, we've got a great product here at Pertronix. It's a billet flamethrower distributor. This thing is just amazing. Tell us about it, Jim.
Well, Greg, we've been in the business for a long time making replacement kits for the points market. Our customers said we'd like to buy a really high quality distributor, so we've come out with our new flamethrower plug-and-play billet distributor. Puts out 4 times more energy into the coil than your standard points ignition system does. Plus, it's beautiful and very reliable.
Obviously, Jim, this is a stealth ignition system. You wouldn't even realize it's not a points ignition system when you look at the distributor, except it's pretty, but the power comes out.
Absolutely. You got to take the cap off. That's the only way you're going to find it.
That's amazing, Jim. Tell us some more about some of your amazing products we found at the Pertronix booth.
Well, the other things that we do is we make high-performance coils. The coil is an extremely important part of the ignition system. Make a variety of different coils. Our new what we call our H-Core, our HV E-Core coil is our newest addition, 60,000 volt rated. I don't know that anybody else has got one that's got more voltage than that out there on the market. We make spark plug wires and a variety of other accessories that help someone individualize their ignition system.
For more information on this, you can check on the Pertronix website at the end of the show, or you can go right to the Summit catalog, correct?
Absolutely. Yep. They're a great customer, and they carry everything that we sell.
And winding up things here at the PRI show, time for one more quick guest we've got right here, and that's Cal Adams from Pro Blend, who, you know, started out in NASCAR, been doing this for a lot of years, but what have you brought for us for drag racers, Cal?
Well, Ted, today I've brought you our full line of drag racing products. We've got tire treatment, we've got a radiator cool, we've got an alcohol top oil lube, I've got a drag racing fuel additive, drag racing transmission product, and a drag racing rear end product.
Well, you got just about everything. Tell me about the tire treatment.
Well, Ted, we'll help them launch a lot quicker, we'll give them instant results, and really our claim to fame is we give the racer double the tire life.
Wow.
As we give them more flexibility in the tire. If they've got tires that have gone through hot, cold cycles,
right,
this product will actually bring them back.
Well, I know they're going to want to hear about that. Now, the 40 below actually makes the car run a lot cooler?
Yes, this is the same product that we sell the NASCAR guys. Put it in the radiator, mix it with distilled water, and whatever you're running, I'll take temperature out of the radiator.
Wow.
They'll run cooler, the engine will last longer.
So, you know, ET bracket guys trying to make laps, this could really help you get back for the next round because it's going to cool down much faster.
Yes, it will.
All right. And the fuel treatment?
We've got fuel treatment, and I've got an alcohol top oil lube for the top end. The fuel is a very aggressive octane boost with an oxygenator in it, and it just gives them that extra punch.
So if you're having a little problem hitting the number, bracket racers, you can put this in, not a problem. ET bracket, there's no rules regarding fuel other than it can't be nitromethane,
That's
right?
True. That's right.
Okay, and I'll tell you what, we've talked to a lot of people today with a lot of products, including Cal right here. So let's take a look at those websites right now.
Inside Drag Racing is a presentation of the Masters Entertainment Group in association with the Outdoor Channel.